This is a off-brand pen that was made by the what company? Duocraft company from Brooklyn, New York made this pen. And Duocraft pen company made this pen. And the nib is a 14 karat gold warranted nib, and this pen is clearly a third tier company, but it has a nib that's as good as really almost any pen. And the reason I'm showing you this pen is this is a pen that would be great for a first-time fountain pen user, because this works great. The rest of the pen, okay, what's wrong with the rest of the pen? Okay, well, you can see that it's missing a little gold band that would have been there. I don't know where that band went, but it's no longer here. But you don't need that to write your novel. You don't need that to draw your picture. Yes, the plastic isn't great. It's slightly bowed out in the middle, but that doesn't bother me, and it shouldn't bother you. When the pen is in your hand, it's like this paintbrush. You know, a little teeth marks here isn't going to interrupt your use of it. Yes, if this is synthetic, or if this is camel hair, if this is sable, if this is dried with crappy paint. This is a horrible paintbrush, by the way. I can just tell that it's crappy just by the way it feels and the way it looks. And you can even tell by looking at the way it was put together that this was made by a crappy company. Liquitex made it. Natural what? Natural plastic? Natural round. Well, this says real hair of some relative of the porcupine or something. It's not a good brush. It's a crappy brush. But this pen from here back is not a great pen, but you're not buying it from here back. You're buying it from here forward. And what's nice about, let's just talk about the great nib. Why this is a good nib for a beginner of using fountain pens, a beginner fountain pen user, is it seems very, very smooth. It has a big ball of iridium on the end. The bigger the ball of iridium, the more smooth it will appear. It also is a rounded ball, so if you sort of hold it in funny angles, or if you're a lefty and you're writing with it, you're still not writing on a sharp point. So it's a good pen to get you started. It is flexible. You can make a line that is somewhat sexy, goes from fine to broader, but it's not prickly fine and it isn't overly broad. So, but it's pretty easy to get that broad line. You don't have to apply a lot of pressure to have it happen. So in a sense, it's like having a, it's an automatic car, not a standard. It automatically gets wide by just a little tiny bit of pressure. You don't have to think too much to be able to get some life out of the pen. You don't have to press down too hard to get it. And you also don't have to be too careful. It's not hard to control. It sort of drives itself. And it's a really good pen to start your relationship with fountain pens. there's no drama in this pen. You know, suddenly I'm thinking of dates, you know, dating someone. You know, it's a fun date. You don't have to worry. Anything will be fine. Very easygoing relationship you'll have. It'll be fun. Now, this pen, you know, a sophisticated artist may want a pen that has a little finer fine, maybe a little broader broad. A calligrapher certainly would want a pen that has a finer fine and a broader broad. But this is again a great pen to start with, and if you like this, if this works for you, then you can get a pen that's like this one, which is out of ink. No, it is out of ink. Just a second. It has a finer fine and a broader broad than this one, but it requires a little bit more careful handling to make that happen. And but making the jump from here to here isn't that great. Starting with this pen may require a little bit more careful attention being paid. And someone might say, oh gee, that's scratchy. Okay, well then we'll start you with this one. So this is a good pen to start with because it's so smooth. And this is a good one for a lefty. So I usually hand a pen like this to someone that's trying out a fountain pen for the first time, because I know that first of all they're not going to break it, and second of all it'll feel comfortable for them. And if they say something like, gee, this pen is really nice, but I want to write more like that, and they point to something that has a fine nib, and I'll give them something else. But occasionally I'll see people take a pen like this and they hold it in such a weird way, or they press down so hard that had I gave them this pen, they might have damaged it. And I don't want that to happen, mainly for the pen's sake, but also for their sake. I don't want them to feel bad about breaking something. So this is a good starter. If you've never used a fountain pen before, this is a great one to use. It has a really nice nib. From here back is kind of ugly. It's missing a piece, missing the band. It's slightly warped, but it doesn't interfere at all. Just ignore the man behind the curtain. Ignore this stuff. You're paying attention to that. And this is a really good pen to begin your relationship with fountain pens. There's other pens that I can show you that have that same kind of a nib. But this is a good one. This is a good one to start with, and then you can move differently. You know, this pen is a great pen for very, very fine drawing. Just almost invisible lettering, but people might find that scratchy. So, anyway, a good starter.